Hello everyone, myself Deepak Kumar Jha, Assistant Professor, Sadeva College of Pharmacy. Topic for this video is immunoblotting techniques and mutation. In immunoblotting techniques, we'll cover microbial genetics including transformation, transduction, conjugation, plasmids and transposons, introduction to microbial biotransformation and its applications. In mutation, we'll cover types of mutation and mutants. Horizontal gene transfer or HGT is the movement of genetic material between the organisms. It plays a key role in bacterial evolution and is the primary mechanism by which bacteria have gained antibiotic resistance and virulence. Scientists have studied how HGT occur in nature and have learned how to introduce genetic materials into cells in the lab. The introduction of foreign DNA or RNA into bacteria or eukaryotic cell is a common technique in molecular biology and scientific research. There are multiple ways foreign DNA can be introduced into the cell, including transformation, transduction, conjugation, transfection. Transformation, transduction and conjugation occur in natural nature as form in HGT, but transfection is unique to the labs and it is man-made. Transformation is the uptake of genetic material from the environment by bacterial cells. In nature, this genetic material often comes with adjacent lysed bacteria and can include plasmid DNA or fragmented DNA released into the environment. Various factors promote natural transfusion in different bacteria, such as growth phase of these cells or presence of specific substances. Though not all bacteria are not naturally competent to take up DNA, they can be made competent through chemical manipulation in the lab. This is commonly done using calcium chloride, which permealizes the cell membrane so the bacteria can easily uptake your plasmid of interest. Scientists can also use electroporation, the application of an electrical charge to the cells to increase cell membrane permeability, and thus transformation efficiency is increased. Talking about transduction, transduction occurs when foreign DNA or RNA is introduced into bacterial or eukaryotic cells via a virus or viral vector. One example of bacteriophages that attach to bacterial membranes and inject their genetic material into these cells. Once inside, the phages can follow one or two different life cycles, lytic or lysogenic. Lytic phases hijack the bacterial host machinery to make more viral particles. Eventually, the cell lysis releases the newly formed viral particles that can infect other bacteria. In the lysogenic cycle, the phage genetic material is incorporated into host genome at a particular integration site. The integration phase remains dormant until it is triggered to enter the lytic cycle. During both of these life cycles, bacterial DNA can be accidentally packaged into the newly created phage. Transfer of this DNA to another cell is referred to as transduction. Transferred DNA, once inside the infected bacterium, can either exit as transient extrachromosomal DNA like plasmid, or it can integrate into the host bacterium's genome through homologous or site-directed recombination. Transduction is a common tool used by scientists to introduce different DNA sequences of interest into a bacterial cell or a host genome. To do this, scientists commonly use phasmids, a DNA cloning vector that contains both bacteriophage and plasmid properties. The phasmids are packaged into replication incompetent phage particles with assistance from helper phage prior to the transduction. Scientists also use transduction to introduce foreign DNA into eukaryotic cells like mammalian cell lines. This can be done with lentiviral and adeno-associated viruses, AAV. Lentiviral and AAV can be used to create both transient cell lines where a gene of interest is expressed but not integrated into the genome, and stable cell lines, where foreign DNA is incorporated into the cell's genome and thus passed through cell division. Bacterial conjugation. The conjugation was first extensively studied method of gene transfer and was discovered in 1946 by Joshua Lederberg and Edward Tatum when they observed genetic recombination between two nutritional deficient E. coli strains that resulted in wild type E. coli. During conjugation, genetic material is transferred from a donor bacterium to a recipient bacterium through direct contact. The donor bacterium contains a DNA sequence called the fertility factor or F factor. The F factor is found on an episome, a piece of DNA that can replicate on its own or be integrated within a bacterial chromosome and allows the donor bacterium to make a small bridge that attaches to the recipient cell, drawing it close. Once in contact, the donor can transfer the genetic material to recipient bacterium. The genetic material transferred is commonly a plasmid and can infer genetic advantages such as antibiotic. Next we have is plasmids. In addition to the bacterial chromosome, many bacteria often contain small non-chromosomal DNA molecules called plasmids. Plasmids usually contain between 5 to 100 genes. Plasmids are not essential for normal bacterial growth, and bacteria may lose or gain them without harm. They can, however, provide an advantage under certain environmental conditions. For example, under normal environmental growth conditions, bacteria are not usually exposed to antibiotics and have a plasmid coding for an enzyme capable of denaturing a particular antibiotic is of no value. However, if the bacterium finds itself in the body when the particular antibiotic that the plasmid coded enzyme is able to degrade is being given to treat an infection, the bacterium containing the plasmid is able to survive and grow. Structure and composition of plasmid are small molecules of double-stranded helical non-chromosomal DNA. In most plasmids, the two ends of the double-stranded DNA molecule that make up the plasmid covalently bond together, forming a physical circle. Some plasmids have linear DNA. Plasmids replicate independently of the host chromosome, but some plasmids called episomes are able to insert or integrate into host cell's chromosome, where their replication is then regulated by the chromosome. Although some plasmids can be transmitted from one bacterium to another by transformation or by generalized transduction, the most common mechanism of plasmid transfer is conjugation. Plasmids that can be transmitted by cell-to-cell contact are called conjugative plasmids. They contain genes coding for proteins involved in both DNA transfer and the formation of mating pairs. Talking about the function, plasmids code for synthesis of a few proteins not coded by the bacterial chromosome. For example, R plasmids found in some gram-negative bacteria often have gene coding for both production of a conjugation pilus and multiple antibiotic resistance through a process called conjugation. The conjugation pilus enables the bacterium to transfer a copy of the R plasmid to other bacteria, making them also multiple antibiotic resistance and able to produce a conjugation pilus. In addition, some exotoxins such as the tetanus exotoxin, Escherichia coli enterotoxin, and E. coli Shigella toxin are also coded by this plasmid. Thousands of different plasmids are known to exist. Transposons. Transposons or transposable element or jumping genes are small piece of DNA that encode enzymes that transpose the transposon. That is, it move it from one DNA location to another, either on the same molecule of the DNA or on a different molecule. Transposon may be found as part of bacterium nucleoid conjugative transposon, or in the plasmid, and are usually between 1 and 12 genes long. The transposon contains number of genes coding for antibiotic resistance or other traits, flanked at both ends by insertion sequences coding for a enzyme called transpoase. Transpoase is the enzyme that catalyzes the cutting and resealing of the DNA during transposition. Thus, such transposons are able to cut themselves out of a bacterial nucleoid or a plasmid and insert themselves into another nucleoid or a plasmid and contribute in the transmission of antibiotic resistance among a population of bacteria. Plasmids and conjugative transposons are very important in horizontal gene transfer in bacteria. The horizontal gene transfer, also known as lateral gene transfer, is a process in which an organism transfers genetic material to another organism that is not its offspring. The ability of the bacteria and archaea to adapt to the new environment as a part of bacterial evolution most frequently results from the acquisition of new genes through horizontal gene transfer, or HGT, rather than by the alteration of gene function through mutation. It is estimated that as much as 20% of the genome of Escherichia coli originated from horizontal gene transfer. Next topic is microbial biotransformation. Biotransformation is the process by which an organism or its enzyme bring out chemical changes on the compound that are not part of their metabolism, and they result in the formation of novel or useful product that are often difficult or impossible to obtain by conventional chemical means. The total chemical transformation of one steroid or another not only requires many stages but an expensive process, although provide only low yield. The biotransformation is used for the preparation of product of defined chemical structure that are related to the substance, substrate or starting material for the reaction by only a single enzyme. Biotransformation reactions reported in the chemical literature of 19th century was developed as a part of the synthetic routes for the production of various compounds like L-ascorbic acid, vitamin C and ephedrine, oxidation of alcohol to acetic acid by bacterium Acetobacter xylinum, oxidation of glucose to gluconic acid by Acetobacter aceti, sorbitol to sorbose by Acetobacter, but was not fully utilized. If we talk about the types of biotransformation reactions, there are many like oxidation reaction, reduction reactions, hydrolysis, condensation, isomerization, mixed reactions. These are some examples of these reactions. Methods of biotransformation. Transformation of organic compound that may be accomplished by using microorganism, isolate, enzyme, immobilization technique and solvent selection. The submerged fermentation is carried out in a stainless steel tank with minimal nutritional quantities to allow maximum transformation and use of easy extraction and purification of transformation product. The microorganisms are grown in a suitable medium for 12 to 72 hours depending on the bacterium and the fungus or the organism we use at optimum temperature, pH, aeration and agitation. The fermentation is carried out in two phases: growth phase and product formation phase. At the end of suitable incubation period, the growth phase, measured quantity of the organic compound to be transformed is added to growing culture. The enzyme produced by the microorganism act upon the organic compound and does the desired function. The product formation phase. At the end of the suitable incubation period, the microbial biomass is separated from fermentation broth. The broth is then subjected to separation of both added substratum and the product formed by the transformation phase. For analysis, if the product samples are obtained at regular interval up to the end of the incubation period, which is 1 to 5 days, these are analyzed using TLC, paper chromatography, gas chromatography, or HPLC technique, whichever technique is fit for the method. The extraction of the product is done by appropriate organic solvents such as methylene chloride, chloroform, ethyl acetate, methyl isobutyl ketone. Product obtained from the cell and substratum should be extracted separately to avoid contamination and dilution. The different factors like pH, temperature, addition of steroids and minerals content reported to the influence biotransformation. These factors, if altered, can affect the end result. Biotransformation in a large scale are carried out under sterile condition in aerated and stirred fermenter. The conversion process is being monitored chromatographically or spectroscopically. The process is terminated when a maximal liter is reached. Sterility is required because contamination can suppress the desired reaction, induce the formation of faulty conversion products, or cause total substrate breakdown. Advantages of microbial transformation. Many benefits can be obtained through microbial transformation studies. The process required in microbial transformation may most probably have the ability to operate at near neutral pH, ambient temperatures, and atmospheric pressures. In contrast, chemistry often requires extremes of these conditions, which are not exactly environmental friendly and industrially undesired. Furthermore, the extreme pH, temperature, and pressure may provide harmful effect toward the personnel operating the harsh procedures and may also affect the community surrounding the areas. That is why the microbial biotransformation is more advantageous. More importantly, the biocatalysts are highly specific to reactions, enantiomer specific and region specific. This is mainly and directly referring to the chemical structure of a compound one may want to obtain specifically, though the end product is very specific. Many versatile microorganisms can be utilized to carry out extreme specific conversions using substrates of low cost. So next topic we have is mutation. A mutation is a change in genetic sequence. Mutation include changes as small as substitution of a single DNA building block or nucleotide base with another nucleotide base. Meanwhile, larger mutation can affect many genes on a chromosome. Along with substitution, mutation can also be caused by insertion, deletion, or duplication of DNA sequence. Some mutations are hereditary because they are passed down to an offspring from parent carrying the mutation through the germline, meaning through an egg or sperm cell carrying the mutation. There are also non-hereditary mutations that can occur in the cell outside the germline, which are called somatic mutations. Mutations can be introduced due to mistakes made during DNA replication or due to exposure to mutagen, which are chemical or environmental agents that can introduce mutation in the DNA sequence, such as ultraviolet light. Some mutations do not result in change in the amino acid sequence or encoded proteins and can be described as silent mutations. Other mutations results in abnormal protein products. Mutation can introduce new alleles into the population of the organism and increase the population's genetic variation. Here are the two main types of categories of mutation. One is gene mutation, second is chromosomal mutation. In gene mutation, replacement of one nucleotide by another, addition or deletion of nucleotide. In chromosomal mutation, the changes in the number of chromosomes, changes in the structure of chromosome are present. This is another representation of types of mutation. point mutation, which is transition and transversion, and frame shift mutation, which can be insertion or deletion. Mutant. A mutant is an organism or a new genetic character arising or resulting from an instance of mutation, which is generally an alteration of DNA sequence of the genome or chromosome of an organism. And at last, thank you.